What's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETFs that recently went live. I was trying to merge two words there in one. Recently went live in Hong Kong, and we're going to talk about why this is a huge deal. What makes them different than, of course, the Bitcoin ETF that went live in the United States. We're still waiting in the US for an Ethereum ETF. Of course, news came out yesterday that the SEC has been looking under the hood for a while without telling anybody. Doesn't shock me one bit. Eventually, I think we'll see an Ethereum ETF. Maybe when Gary Gensler is out as SEC chair, because he has been a kryptonite for crypto, right? For sure. Or however you say that. Basically, he has not been bullish. But in the end here, I think we're going to see it. And here's what we're also seeing: Hong Kong, that part of the world, they're adopting crypto. And I think they made this move by accepting a Bitcoin and an Ethereum ETF all in one go at it to gain a competitive advantage. We saw Canada do it as well. As the United States sits on the sidelines for an Ethereum ETF, other parts of the world are jumping in, capturing market share, and they're getting in before that market is a little bit more crowded. So in this video, I want to kind of highlight some things here about these ETFs. Real quick, shout out to our friends over at Margex, guys. If you guys are looking to leverage trade, Margex is an unbelievable platform to do so. When you sign up using my link, not only are you going to get a 20% sign-on bonus, but you're going to get access to the best traders over on Margex. You can literally copy trade, follow them to a T, and you can see exactly the moves they're making. Margex has no KYC. They made crypto trading simple, very easy. The fastest order execution, liquidity from 12 plus providers, super low fees. They've got over 500,000 registered users already. You could become the next one using my link down below. Come on over and trade with us over at Margex. Phenomenal team over there at Margex as well. So let's get into the story. Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs offer these advantages over the US ETFs. So they've done things slightly different, and it's really a big deal for crypto. So after a long wait, the Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs have finally gone live for trading, setting up high expectations among investors. Interestingly, the launch of the Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs comes at a time when the US Bitcoin ETFs are experiencing net outflows over the last week. So this is the first kind of time we've seen outflows really take over. You know, there's the old adage, make money by May, go away. We're seeing people take profits off the table. And it makes sense. I mean, if you look at where Bitcoin came just from August, September, October last year to now, it makes complete sense as to why people would be taking profits. I think it's just a short-term dip here in a bigger market push, but people are going to take profits. You can't be shaken out, right? A lot of people will freak out, sell all their bags, and then they'll see the markets pump again, let's say later this year, and they'll say, oh man, I shouldn't have gone out. What was I thinking, right? It all depends on kind of what your time horizon is. Are you a trader? Are you an investor? Are you both? Are there different assets where you're long? Are there other assets where you're just kind of looking for short-term gains? All of that kind of factors in. But market analysts have started pointing out why one should see Hong Kong ETFs separately from the US products and the advantages that come with them. And CoinGate put this article out there. And VanEck, director of digital asset Gaber Gerbax, stated that Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs have a strong backing from China, hinting inflows through Chinese wealth. We had mentioned this before these even went live, guys, that this is going to be massive for Chinese investors. We know there's a lot of capital there, like there is in the United States. And after a long wait, they're going to have exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum as we kind of get going in this bull run. So in a recent statement, we saw that Blockstream CEO Adam Back turned the spotlight on Hong Kong and the ETF market there. And he said here yesterday that the ETFs markets are opening, and this is a huge opportunity for Chinese investors and Asia investors now that these are live, right? So same kind of thing here in the United States, opens the door for institutions. Now, analysts have been predicting minuscule inflows for Hong Kong Bitcoin funds in comparison to the US. According to Bloomberg, Rebecca Sin says Bitcoin and Ether funds in Hong Kong could accumulate 1 billion over the span of 2 years. Keep in mind though, all the experts were wrong about the United States. They all had, very small predictions for Bitcoin ETFs. Those were blown out of the water, right? Maybe that's the case here again. So there is a CEO of Harvest Capital. He considers this estimate, quote, too conservative. And he attributes, that these ETFs will bring tons and tons, billions of dollars in. Outflows from US spot Bitcoin ETFs have continued. On Monday, we stood at 51 million. We haven't seen that in a while. But overall, Gerbax noted it will be intriguing to observe the various agreements China ventures into. His speculation suggests that their interests likely extend far beyond ETFs, possibly encompassing private technology, market infrastructure, spot Bitcoin, among other areas. The intro of the Hong Kong ETF serves not only as a legitimizing tool, but also as a signal indicating that involvement within the conventional framework is permissible now. And I think this is going to open the door for some major investors in China to come in. And again, I'll remind you, all of the experts who said what would happen when a Bitcoin ETF went live were wrong. The expectations were blown out of the water. We got tons and tons of more capital coming in than any of the experts predicted. So I think the same thing could play out here in China. Same thing with the Hong Kong ETFs. And we mentioned this. It's not just Hong Kong. This opens the door for a ton of Chinese institutional investors to get in. That's what makes this space so crazy and so competitive and so lucrative. It's a global market, right? We know there's a lot of capital there like there is in the United States. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. Make sure you guys subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any content. Don't forget to like the video. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. How do you think this plays out in the coming months? We'll be keeping tabs on it as well.